are slowly going to slide in. I'll let you guys slide in as you go, but I want to keep us on track on time. So welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson, and thank you for being with me. All of you who are newbies, welcome. You're welcome to ask questions as long as you're logged into the Zoom end of the chat. At least I can see those immediately. I can try to see the other stuff later. So reminder to all of you, when we do these Truth Tribe calls, this is about bringing in your truth, bringing in your reality and what is right for you, but it's also about tools so you can live your truth. And so I always want to remind you guys that I love you and that you are perfect exactly how you are right now, wherever you are, in whatever moment you're in right now, struggling, not struggling, fearful, not fearful, happy, unhappy. It's exactly where you need to be. You may not like it, you may love it, but that's where you need to be. And that's what's going to evolve out of your reality in your world by accepting and understanding that there are tools that we can shift into a higher realm of consciousness, high vibration. Okay. So the Truth Tribe is here to give you tools in order to say, if I don't want this, I can try that. Okay. And to live your truth, because it's going to be different. This experience everyone's going through is different for everyone on every level. All right. And so tonight, we're going to get into a little bit later. I'm going to fill you in on the planetary update at the end, because that is why you're all feeling what you're feeling right now. It's intense. It always is intense. It's not going to lighten up. And I've shared this with you guys several times. It is this stuff that's going on, the feeling, the vibration. It is not going to get lighter. It is absolutely going to stay like this. It's getting better. It's making the world better. It's shifting us. It's changing us. It's helping us lighten up ourselves as human beings. But we don't like it, and we don't like what we're going through. So that's the whole purpose of these calls. So when I went in and I started doing the meditation and paying attention to how I could download, the message that came in this time was, you have solutions when you slow down enough to listen. And I was like, oh, that is so brilliant, right? Because the reason I say this is because slowing down, that's what they're wanting you to do with the universe, the higher beings, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, God. Slow down and ask yourself how to grant your own wish. And so that was the question. Slow down and ask yourself how to grant yourself your own wish, right? And their answer was, we're listening. Your guides are listening to you. And what would you want? That's what they were saying to me. What do you want? How much time do you listen to yourself to be healthier in your body, in your mind, and in your spirit? So I get these downloads, you guys, at times, and I think, God, haven't I already said this? Like, that's what comes to me when I get some of this. And then I look at the planets and I'm like, that's why they're saying this to us, right? That's why they're sharing this with us. So I'm like, okay, I am just going to continue to, reveal what they bring out to me. And then when I go and look at kind of the energy grid and the planetary alignments, it totally makes sense why the message I'm getting is matching up with the message that they're downloading for me. So instant gratification is revealing itself. That's what's happening. Okay. Is if you start thinking from these questions, and it's going to make you question yourself or people around you. Okay. Not saying that they're doing it wrong, but questioning how the people around you are experiencing what they're experiencing. Is instant gratification irritating you? And I mean it by, is instant gratification irritating you in the sense of, are you not getting what you want as fast as you wanted it? And so now you're irritated with others who aren't doing what you want when they want, right? Like, that's what's happening. I'm watching it all the time right now. And so it fascinates me what segment of this pill population, as I call them, right, has made you lazy or being lazy on being a critical thinker, right, of your truth. Are you being a critical thinker of your truth? Pain is what pauses us, you guys. Pain is what says, no, right? This is not my best option. What if nothing was uncomfortable right now? Would you be as open-minded to hear like how to take back your power and live your truth? And you would not. No, most people would not be as open-minded if you were not as uncomfortable as you are right now. Okay. Not likely. I have done this work for 30 years almost. It's crazy. That's how long I've been doing this spiritual teaching, higher truth work, right? I've done this for so long, and this is truly remarkable for me to see everyone looking up for a change, right? Recognizing your patterns is what frees you from your invisible shackles, you guys. And you cannot see your patterns if you don't look up and go, do I have some patterns that are like, I haven't paused enough to really look at them, and I'm looking outside of me and thinking it's all of them that's affecting my life when it's really my own pattern? And so that's the question for tonight is, do you know how to pause? Right? Do you think of it that way? Do I pause? Do I know how to pause? Am I good at pausing? Are you in the habit of not using discernment and critical thinking? Are you afraid to choose what you want and then tell others what your choice is? Right? What if they don't want what you want? Right? Have you paused to consider maybe they don't want what you want? And sometimes it's good that they don't want what you want. It's a really good lesson when people don't want what you want, because it's really pushes you to see if it's something that you're going to negotiate, or is it that important to your soul and your heart? Okay. What if it makes you fearful to say it or uncomfortable? That's how you know important it is, right? And so last week, the call for whatever reason erupted quite a bit when I was like, you have to choose what you want, right? You have to decide. And what's funny is the whole week, it tsunami itself into this like eruption of this frequency of blame. And I don't think people even knew they were doing it. It just kind of came out of everybody, right? They do this to me. It's their fault. They keep coming back into my life, and I'm letting them go, and it's them returning. Bullshit, right? Like total BS, right? I don't know what I want. Total BS. They're acting this way and that way again. Total BS. They never stopped, right? And so all week long, there were multiple interactions that I started seeing this. It's like when we don't pause to consider what is really irritating us personally, then we immediately start blaming someone externally. It's got to be their fault. It's got to be them, right? And they're treating me this way, BS cop out answers. Okay, it's their fault. It's not. I don't think people mean that. I just think we don't know what to do with this because we haven't slowed down enough to go, probably not feeling good. I don't like this. It's got to be someone else irritating me. So if I don't want something, think of it from that perspective. If I don't want something and I tell you, and then you ignore my truth, but yet I keep revisiting that topic with you to teach you how to treat me, I'm not being the responsible one for what I really want. I'm blaming you for not giving me what you can't give me. And so instead of it being the blame game, it's really that we're attracting it. You're habitually used to these things coming back. We're like, but I didn't want that. Well, you are, because you're used to it. And so now that so many people are asking, and I find it crazy, right? That so many are asking about this current reality that's happening on the planet, and they're super confused by it, right? They're like, I just don't understand why this is happening. And I'm completely shocked that you are all confused in any way. How you can be confused with what's happening, that what we've been through in 2 years, right? And now you're all confused that what's happening on this planet, and it's shocking you in any way. Why am I saying that? Because you are so used to instant gratification that many are not even used to pausing and just taking a break, slowing down and going, pausing long enough to determine what you want, or if old habits aren't gratifying anymore, do you even know that? Or if old professional, situations aren't meeting your needs anymore, is it time to move on? I'm noticing clients, I notice friends, I notice myself experiencing things a lot lately that they're just not interested anymore, that you used to be, I used to be, but they're not, right? Alcohol, right? Sugary stuff, or they're like, I just want it less. I don't not want it. I just don't want it as much as I used to. Eating crappy toxic filled food. Sleeping is super erratic and weird lately. I don't know if any of you noticed that. That is a big deal for me right now. Social groups are changing. Religious traditions are changing. How we react to things harshly or more compassionately, whichever one, right? Simply, maybe if you listen to who you listen to for advice is changing, or information, or and what you're looking for is changing, right? Even when it comes to me and you're on these calls, don't even allow me to be your only source. Check what I teach. I would love it if you all check. You're like, what is she talking about? Is that true? Yes, go research it, right? Pause and ask yourself, if I use discernment and was to determine how much satisfaction this thing or thought or teaching or education or food actually brings me, you will begin to shift and expand. All I want you to do is just use discernment and question what it is, right? When you guys simply pause, right, it's protecting yourself to become more responsible for your reality in your body. That's okay, right? To not answer a phone call, to change your mind. Wow, God forbid we make a choice to do something or go somewhere. We're like, no, I changed my mind. I just don't feel like it now. It's okay to want to be alone, to take a day off, to do nothing, to speak up, right? To let go of all that does not feed your souls, right? And this is because your frequency, your lighthouses, your frequency is rising and it's shifting to your acceptance, to your truth. And what reality do you want to live in? What one do you want to live in now? So I want you guys, if you think of it from this perspective, have you even paused a little bit to consider your heart's choice over the programmed brain's choice? Because the brain is programmed. The brain is just going to put you in subconscious mode, take you along the way, and choose what it knows how to do on a habitual basis. Okay, so using discernment to find out or discover what you need to live a lighter and more grounded life. Tonight, I want you guys to start pausing and consider those three things that we've talked about, the 3 T's, the things, the thoughts, and the truths in your world. Okay, and you all know things, thoughts, and truth are body, mind, and spirit. All right, so body is things, anything you can touch, your physical body, which I'm going to touch on a little bit more tonight than anything, but physical things, your mind, how you think, the thoughts you have, the beliefs you have, that's going to touch big on the planets. And spirit, what could you do on body, mind, and spirit that you could be more discerning and go, what things in my life are not as valuable to me anymore? Because if we think about just physical things in our reality, okay, you guys, the human body is designed to express. You can see it through rashes, you see it through when you get inflamed, you see it through all these types of part of your body. The human body is designed to express and discharge energetic toxicity, period. Now, I know you want to call a food, a thing, a chemical, an actual thing. So I'll give you that, but it's actually just energy, okay? Toxic energy. Okay, so emotions and physical toxic substances, your body knows to purge and discharge, right? It's not meant organically to repress and stuff stuff down. And then when it's not working, with more toxins and more toxic emotions. Do you get where I'm going with this? You see all these things as chemical and physical, but everything in your reality, in your body, in your world is all positive or negative energy, period. Okay. And then when your intuition, your heart, your soul, your energetic intuition kicks in and it says, this doesn't feel right. Or what's inside me, it's been there a long time, doesn't feel like it should be there. Your body knows. It's an automatic response to vomit, to react with inflammation, to simply give you stomach pain to stop taking or ingesting, or any pain, emotional pain, or verbal vomiting, right? We've all had that friend who's just so like they've hit their max emotionally from purging or stuffing down the energetic emotions. They can't take it anymore, and verbal vomit of emotional vomit just builds up and explodes out of them, right? And so we all listen to this if we would be so much better off, but we listen to others saying, oh, nothing's wrong with you. Others being the medical wizards, right? But there's a part of you that just doesn't feel like dancing. It doesn't feel like you're empowered and joyful and happy, right? And yet these wizards, I call them wizards, they're all box wizards, right? But all of these wizards never seem to suggest less toxic solutions. And it just irritates me because I want you all to have tools that give you freedom, that you don't need to go outside of yourself. So that's my goal tonight, okay? So the second they're telling you, well, nothing's wrong with you, right? That's typically what happens. Then in the next breath, you're being told something's wrong with you, right? And you need more, stronger toxins to numb the toxins causing up the flare up on the inside, right? Instead of simply purging all toxic debris that's stagnating in your system for hours and days and months, and some of you years, some of you your whole life. Right? So it is completely been, and I know why I'm here on this planet. I know my truth, right? And it's my mission, right? When I've been going through this my whole life, I kept thinking, what was that all for? And I was like, oh, it's because when I'm suffering and these wizards have told me, oh, nothing's wrong with you, Dawn, right? That's BS, because God didn't make us sick. We are organically perfect. We come in this beautiful blueprint. Our soul already knows what to do. So I want you to understand that we know what to do. We need to start trusting it, trusting your truth and your soul's truth knows better. And I want you guys to beat yourselves up anymore either. Okay. So most of you had no idea that there was even something to pay attention to. You're like, well, this is just what I know. And so now we're waking up and your soul knows, right? Many souls in this collective grid. Here's the grid. And remember, there's one around you. You've got a collective grid-like bubble, runs meridians through your body, and then around you like a bubble. It's probably like 5-6 feet wide around circumference. And so many souls, their bubbles are full of light, right? Which is all these lighthouses that are waking up. And you're all starting to realize how powerful your body, minds, and souls really are, right? But you guys have to understand, when you've been shoving it down, all the emotional energy, all the physical energy, all the negative energy, the negative emotions and negative toxins, right? Your body is capable of using alternative systems inside you to bypass the roadblocks of toxic energy, okay? And so I know I've sounded like this broken record for the last 2 years about talking about, you know, taking back your responsibility for your body, mind, and spirit, but I'm going to harp on it for a long time until all you go, oh, it might be small, tiny doses like I give you tonight on little things you just aren't putting together, but they work because they're long-term drips into your bucket, and pretty soon your bucket overflows, right? And so it's no longer optional to avoid you, right? Take responsibility for you. You must take interest in what is toxicity that's needing to be purged and what high frequency replacements can be used instead. It's that basic. And it might take you a little time, right? So this is Psychology 101, you guys. From now on, you need to focus on not what you don't want, but what you do want. And most people don't do that. And this is hard to do if you have these TV wizards on 24/7 telling you all about all the things you don't want, right? So you begin to believe it's what you're doomed to have and you must suffer and it's just going to be miserable, right? So now we have to start opening ourselves up to a different perspective, right? Now, I want to make sure I'm also clear on this topic. When the wizards, as we call them, the Wizard of Oz is out there in all the boxes. Don't get me wrong, you cannot avoid the darkness appearing left and right. You can't avoid it. It's so thick out there. There's no avoiding seeing these dark energies happening out there, right? But not using discernment to research while you look at it, that's what's going to get you in trouble, because we get locked into it, we get lost in it. So you cannot improve what you do not know in your personal life. All right. And so if you start paying attention to not just the external toxins and toxicity and darkness, but also paying attention to the toxins inside your body, the toxic living environments that you might be in, right? To the toxic social environments, to the toxic beliefs that you've just accepted with not pausing. Just 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I'm getting messages in here. Okay. So when you're, hold on a second. You have to ask the husband, can you close the door? He doesn't know I'm here. Secretly. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. There he is. Thank you. Okay. I didn't know he came home. Okay, so sorry. Where were we? Accept it without pausing. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So anyway, toxicity, toxic beliefs. Okay. Are we just accepting things and not pausing? And I think you guys have to wake up. I think you have to wake up, and I think we have to start paying attention to, have I not even paused enough to think about, is this what I'm doing, what I'm ingesting, what I'm thinking, what I'm spiritually, intuitively praying or talking or, opening my mind and source up? Am I not even pausing enough to know, does this even serve me anymore? You guys are responsible for purging it as clean as possible and then replacing it with the new reality that you choose. Okay. You're responsible for all your body, all your mind, and all your spirit. You are this energy bubble. And remember, it's just these grid lines. Okay. So I'm going to give you something that's just my opinion, but it's my opinion only because it's working for me and many people I know. So I'm not giving you any factual, like scientific, well, it is scientific, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole tonight. I'm just going to give you some insight. Okay. My opinion, given that I've been doing this for 30 years and in a lot of extensive health issues, forcing me to grow discernment and researching how to get the bottom of things that didn't make sense. I'm one of those people that's patterns, like this happens over and over again with my children, with my friends, with my family, with my spouse, with everyone. And you go, then everybody keeps saying this is okay. And it's not. I've seen too many people told there is no remedy, no hope, only to delete whatever that thing was. They said no hope forever naturally. And I'm not disputing one way or another. What I'm trying to say is one topic that is continually ignored in the medical communities up to this point are three things that I think are absolutely important. You start looking at detoxing on a natural level: parasites, fungus and yeast, about the same thing, and heavy metal toxic buildup. Okay, because they're not looked at from the medical community as the first level. They're looked at something way at the end, if they ever even touch it at all. Yet clearing these things delivers so much relief. So simply detoxing these items, you guys, would begin to eradicate so much disease and suffering on the planet. And I'm aware of what would happen to the money-making wizardry giants out there. And this is the main reason that I truly believe that we're not using these at the base of all healing. Yeah, I believe it's totally the future. Totally the future. It's why so many healing centers are starting to pop up, because that's the direction they're going. They start there. These healing centers start with parasites, yeast, fungus, and metal. And when you get that out of your body, your body's organic and it knows what to do. So the simplest and easy way for you to take back your personal health power, the physical body, okay? These are things that you have the power to do and have control over. No one can take that from you. And that's my goal in the Truth Tribe, is to give you things that can be your truth, that no one can say you know nothing about, because it's easy to find, okay? If you do nothing but simply use discernment and research on those three things, okay? And thank you. Someone just said, it's the past coming back thousands of years. Thank you. I was going to say 100, but she's 100% right. Thousands of years, okay? So if you see nothing but simply discernment of research of these three things, of parasites and fungus and metal, and their effects on the human body and mind and spirit, they're numbing your soul. They're triggering nervous system problems, right? They're making us inflamed, right? And if you're just researching it and do nothing else, you're ahead of most who are doing nothing and feel completely hopeless. So that's all I'm going to bring at that physical body aspect, right? I've given you guys so many tools over the last year. And most physicians will tell you that you don't need to check for toxins and parasites and fungus and heavy metals. And most detoxing of these items are going to make you feel better. And sadly, the biggest piece is that it's in most of our foods, most pokes that you get, and most water. And so it's hard to escape unless you are only consuming like local, grass-fed, organic foods and waters. Now, I don't want you guys to be scared. All I want you to do is be responsible for your life in every way, right? Pause and ask yourself right now, what could I do? Okay. And don't overthink it either, right? Guys, I'm trying to get you guys to like where you could start as your base, and then how simple this could be by pausing and looking at the 3 T's. The 3 T's are things, thoughts, and truth. For some of you, things aren't your body. Some of you, things are your body. Some of you, things are your house, or your work, or your office, or just maybe even your desk, right? So when it comes to, let's think about it, not overthinking your body. Check your water, check your food, check the supplements, check your meds for toxic intake. Research them. What's in them? Read and research every label you come in contact with. I'm like OCD on. I want to know exactly what's in everything. Check your environment for static energy as well. Like the rooms that you're in. If there's a lot of electromagnetic energy in it, it's going to be uncomfortable. Clear your physical environments. Like when you clear the physical environment and get rid of all the excess stimulus, there's less to focus on, and your body calms down. And when your body calms down, your body feels more peaceful and it wants less. Okay. So checking maybe your daily intake of foods. Are the foods that you intake also helpful detoxers? Right. I put cilantro in every meal, right? Even if I'm not having a meal that would want cilantro, I will eat some cilantro and then make the meal, because cilantro is a natural chelator, which would be like a heavy metal, a natural metal detoxer, right? But it's food, okay? But if you eat it every single day, it could be that simple, a long, slow term drip, but it's so powerful, okay? So that's something you can do. Simply start with one room in your home and go room to room, maybe just detox all the things that don't bring you joyful zen. Like, that picture kind of has some bad memories. Get rid of the picture. Your body will feel calmer when you're in an environment that's calm, and it wants calmer food, and it continues to snowball, right? Everybody go into your pantries. Go into your pantries and start reading the labels of food. Everything you have in that pantry, read the labels of food that you have on everything in your pantry, okay? And learn what you're really intaking. Okay, here's my basic tip. If it has more than 5 to 8 ingredients, you might want to research the rest of those ingredients. You may want to research the bottom line. Usually the items causing you at the bottom lines from 5 to 8 are what flaring you up and you had no idea, right? Someone brought this up. Zeolite is a great heavy metal detoxer. So if anybody wants to use that, I'm only focusing on food right now, but they're one of the more gentle heavy metal detox. You don't have to think about it. You just put some drops in water every day and move on. Okay. So that would be things or body. Okay. That you're really focusing on pausing and going, what am I really doing? Discernment. What about mind? Okay. Check your emotional buildup, you guys. Did you know that every pain and flare up in your body typically starts with some ignoring emotional feelings that you had and you didn't want to deal with it or you're afraid to? So you push it down, act like it didn't bother you, and it totally bothered you. And then it keeps building and building and building. You're ignoring it. So we're shoving it down with food and alcohol and toxins and sugar. Sugar is a huge thing. That's why I brought up fungus and yeast, because sugar's causing it. So mind, let's talk about mind. Check your emotional buildup. What would you wish you could say if you could say how you feel about something, but you hold on to it, right? And there's no need for you to go out and tell everybody about it. Write it down and burn it daily so you can simply acknowledge yourself. Even if no one else is acknowledging you, you acknowledge you. This is you being responsible, right? Any of you people on the I Deserve It Center I've already seen you get into the app, the I Deserve It app, it's on both app stores, by the way. If you tap on the I Deserve It Center, it's a membership. You have access to my website and you can go into the I Deserve It Academy. Start there, right? Learn about your emotions that have been pushed really far down and they need to come up, and you just need to acknowledge them, okay? What beliefs do you need to listen to that you're like, ooh, I've always believed this. Do I really believe it now? Or is it a good idea to keep believing it? It's coming up a lot for everybody right now, especially through the holidays. Replace it with a book, a podcast. There is unlimited free YouTube videos out there. A lot of these calls go into the memberships, right, of the YouTubes. But I have my whole other YouTube channels full of a weekly Wednesday update from my assistant. She puts a whole new video in there for you guys. Okay. So those are things for mind. Check your mindset, check your belief systems. What do you believe that you're not clearing and going, I don't really need to believe that anymore. Probably not a good ingredient for me. Now let's go to spirit. Spirit will be your truth. Okay. I want you guys to ask yourself, what do I do to talk to my higher self or to source or angels or spirit? Do I ask for guidance in ways that may be less traditional, or do I do it at all? Or do I stop doing traditional? I haven't done anything in order to get myself to the next level. I want you to start asking yourself how you can get yourself to that next level. Okay. How am I connecting to spirit? Are you even asking? Are you pausing and saying, that's what spirit, when I did my download earlier, they were like, you're not pausing long enough for us to help. You're not pausing long enough to tell us what you want. So my answer is it's probably not the biggest strength area for a lot of people. Talking to even if it's like, am I just talking to myself? That's okay, right? That is okay. Because all I want you to do is in your mind, ask for help from spirit to guide you to solutions that would fill your spirit, that would bring you joy, that would bring you laughter, that would bring you happiness, right? But you're missing that point, and we're missing putting attention into it. As simple as a tip this would be for spirit is go get a dry erase marker. I brought this up too many times, right? And go write words on your bathroom mirror that you need to hear daily. Talk to my angels. Ask angels for help, right? Even just being kinder to others. I see this a lot with religious people who are very religious, okay? Nothing wrong with it, but it is going to be a challenge because God, source energy, does not judge which God you pray to, because they all go to the same place. They all go to love. They all pray for love. They all pray to love. They all pray to the sound Ah. Allah, Buddha, Krishna, Ah, God, love. Okay. So when you're talking to spirit and you're being judgmental, maybe that's a belief we need to let go of. They just have a different name. That's how simple I'm trying to get you guys down to this. Am I pausing enough to question what I have in my things, in my thoughts, and my truth? Okay. All right. So really where I want you guys to go with this, guys, is I want you to give yourself a slow, gentle detox of each of these items and begin to learn what each thing, what each thought, what each truth has in it, and what are the effects on your body, on your mind, and on your spirit. Okay, check your energy after each intake, right? Does it give you a positive charge or a negative charge? So imagine you're a battery, physical body, and is it charging the battery or is it draining the battery? Everything is energy and it affects this energy field we've talked about, okay, so many times. So make a list of all the things you ingest or including in your environment and start with the ones that are the most toxic and begin to slowly like just throw them out. You might go into your pantry and be like, oh my gosh, all the items in here, like, 15 to 20 items or more of ingredients. I can't put this in my body anymore. Research the ingredients. You don't understand what they are. That's how you'll know. That's discernment. Okay. So a slow drip of replacing old toxic intake with lighter love and light is going to be your own awesome doing. You have power. You have control of this. I don't think you need to get obsessive. I don't think you need to be critical. I don't think you need to beat yourself up. I think you just have to ask yourself, can I pause and start with one area that would help me feel better? Okay. Does this make sense, guys? Am I getting you guys to hear and see we're at pause? I mean, honestly, the angel spirit is just basically telling me, Dawn, everybody needs to pause for a minute and ask, is this okay? And then find out what's been going in. And is that what's blocking you from expressing out? Because remember, that's what the body does naturally. It naturally expresses what doesn't work with organic nature inside the body. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, guys, let's go to a planetary update because it's going to make you laugh of what is happening right now. Okay. So, yes, today, Neptune is the planet of ruling Pisces, okay? And so Neptune rules our creativity, it rules film, it rules media, but it also rules creativity and head in the clouds and bringing ourselves to the higher realms, to our past lives, spirituality, intuition, all that kind of stuff, okay? Where it sits in your chart, where Neptune sits is where you're going to feel this. Well, when a planet is going backwards, it kind of is pulling on us and we don't feel like we have as much power. Well, it went direct today, pretty soon. Pretty sure the dates, I could be off of my dates, today, yesterday. So here's the gig. When it's moving forward, it's bringing us more creativity. It's bringing us the ability to see things on a more creative level or get more creative in how we use discernment. Like, I was kind of, because it can also be the planet of delusion and confusion and lost as their head in the clouds as well. Each planet and sign has a gift and a high frequency, low frequency. So the high frequency is creativity. The low frequency is delusion of media, TV, all those things that we're getting pulled backwards. We're going to start snapping forward and you're going to see a creative version of the truth. Cool. That was Neptune. Uranus is the next planet on January 19th. So in about a month and a half, that's also going to go forward. And we'll talk about that when it gets closer. But when that happens, all the planets, as I told you last year, they were going backwards, which is uncomfortable, had us do this life review, had us do a 1,000-year review. Guess what happened, guys? They're all turning by the 19th. And all the planets now are going forward again. Forward motion. Forward is good. That's what you guys are feeling. So now you're like, wait a minute. Now we were just reviewing and now we're going to go backwards again. That's what I want you guys to not get delusional about what you're putting in. Neptune's going to go, now get creative what you replace it with. Go research. If you like these crackers, get ones that don't have as many ingredients. It's no different. Crackers aren't bad. It's what's in the crackers. Point being. Okay. Now, depending on where you are on the planet, it's going to be the 3rd or the 4th. Okay. But I want to say it's like early on a part of the planet at like 1 in the morning. December 3rd and 4th, there's a total solar eclipse, which means the moon is going to cover up the sun. Okay, it's going to sit on top of it. And it's sitting in Sagittarius. Okay. And so those of you who know where this total solar eclipse is, wherever the sun, wherever Sagittarius sits at 12 degrees in your chart, that's where you will have a total solar eclipse going on in your chart. Okay. Sagittarius and this lunar eclipse or the solar eclipse is about letting go of old beliefs, which is why I went into this things, thoughts, and truth. Okay. About pausing and questioning what you've allowed, right? It's about letting go of old beliefs and old systems for this lifetime and, or as she said, thousands of lifetimes. So generations of releasing. Okay. Venus and Mercury are also in a setup right now. So they're also triggering new love and new relationships. Capricorn is in, Venus is in Capricorn, but it's going to retrograde a little bit and then go back. And it was, and it's going back out. And it's just, so my point is the where Venus just went out of retrograde as well, it set itself up saying, okay, I want you to lay these out with foundation. And Mercury's saying, think about it, pause, use discernment, think about it. So any beliefs, you guys, of any boxes are going to be up for upgrading. Okay. And I'm going to remind you the boxes. Okay. The boxes will be religious boxes, medical boxes, education boxes, government boxes, institutions, law, values, okay, love, beliefs, anything that we're indoctrinated. Okay. So you are healing these feelings right now and how you connect with others and then releasing old beliefs. Like, okay, I want to connect with new people. I want it to be fast. And right now today, those of you who are feeling a little bit off or emotional or a little anxiety in relationships, the moon's in Libra and she's clicking out and he's going to hit into the moon in Sag. Okay. So once he does that in the next 3 or 4 days, he's going to move up into Sag, but right now he's in Libra. Okay. And with the moon in Libra and then Mercury in Sagittarius, guys, this emotions and this love and this intensity and these shifting in your beliefs, like you believe this and the next, like literally moment, you're like, wait a minute, do I not believe that anymore? Because this I really believe could be great for me. Yes, it can. Okay. I'm getting excited because the shifting is so intense, but it's so good. Okay. And so things are going to happen quickly, you guys. Okay. Who hasn't changed their values in this life or this year or last 2 years? Because I know I have. All right. So this all represents arriving at a new destination. Okay. It is a point in our lives where something or some part of us is fully being reborn and fully reintegrated and ready to play an active part in your life. And you've been working hard at it. So this is important. And so the solar eclipse is all in Sagittarius, which rules doctrines, belief systems, right? And so it's going to invite you into going. Also, the higher frequency of Sagittarius is opportunities and finding new ways and travel, the excitement to go somewhere and manifest your adventures and your dreams. Like, who's not excited for this, right? So additionally, this eclipse is going to be closely conjuncting that Mercury, because Mercury is also in Sag, okay? So it's hinting towards a need to have a humble attitude towards going forward, like being grateful and going, you know what? You might be having really good things happen to you right now. And be humble about it and realize that some other people are going through it too. And they're going to get where you are. It might just be a little bit slower. So the wave goes like this. They're going with you. They're just a little bit behind where you are, but they're still going. So let's not judge. That's a big thing right now. Blame that I talked about earlier. Okay. So Jupiter is also squaring Mars in this whole transit. Like I told you, the planets are insane. So it's like this, okay, that here's a planet up here and here's a planet up here, and it's causing a square angle, which means it's a hard angle. It doesn't move easy, which symbolizes our need to grow freedom. Okay, that's what It wants, and it's saying, no, you can't have freedom. Mars is like, you can't have it. Yes, I can. And they're fighting each other, right? And so it's this symbolization of like the freedom from things that have been shackling and holding us back. So, but Mars is also the planet of war, okay? So reckless, disruptive behavior can be triggered with Mars being agitated a little bit. So it's important that you guys listen to what I've been trying to share with you from the beginning to the end here. It's important that you think before you act. One simple word I'm going to let you guys hold on to this call, which is in every possible moment, whether you're thinking something, whether you're going to say something, whether you're going to do something, pause. Okay. Discernment is your friend for the next 2-3 weeks. Get through the holiday. Okay. Discernment on everything. Research it, understand it, figure it out and what it is and how it affects your personal reality. Cool. Okay. All right, guys, let me get you into the tips of the night so you guys remember what we talked about, and then I'm going to get into Q&A. On any of these topics, please feel free to open the door. Okay, so tip number 1, instant gratification check. Okay, it's happened. We've had it for so long that you don't even know you have it anymore. You don't even realize it because Amazon has warped everybody, that everybody thinks that everything should be like that. Okay, so pause for every moment and thought. Okay, what are you ignoring for a fast fix? What are you ignoring things? What are you ignoring thoughts? What are you ignoring about your truth for a fast fix, instead of going, am I really even understanding what I'm ignoring? Because I really need to pay attention to this. Then you have power. Discernment. Okay, before you say no to anything or yes to anything, research what you aren't sure of. Okay, the good may be bad, the bad may be good. You don't know because you don't know what it is for you. And I want you to be very, very clear with yourself. Research all new tech, all new ways to heal, all things, all thoughts, all truths that you're like, does this serve me? Does this bring me to my highest good? And then number 3, what parts of you need to be fully reborn? Okay, what parts of you are in need of purging old and renewing with responsibility and attention on yourself? It sounds so simple, but it's not. It's you walking downstairs, walking into the other room, opening your pantry and literally doing shelf by shelf. I mean, my husband and I, our spices are all organic. We know where those spices come from. We know what toxins, we know what pesticides, we know everything has been on them. So every time we put something in our body, we know we're okay with it. So we're eating with love. We're loving our systems. We're loving the intake. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times we go out, we don't know, but I would rather not know once than not know all the time. And now it's completely jammed full. Okay. Pay attention. As I have told you guys for the last 2 years, you guys are lighthouses and you have a dimmer switch. Okay. A dimmer switch of love. The name of that switch is love. And it's time to fill it up with love. All that you can, all the goodness that you can put in, all the understanding you can research about what you've been putting in and what can replace it with more light and love. Okay. Everybody top right here. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I'm healthy. I'm powerful. Okay. I am courage. I am love. Okay. Let's open up the Q&A. See where you guys are at. I want you guys to comment in the chat if you're here with me, and chat, throw into the comments, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about what area are you guys in your life do you notice you need more pausing and discernment in. Can you just even give me the topic? Like, is it your physical body? Is it the food you eat? Is it maybe that's the medicine you take? I was just having a family member discussion about how much medicine her spouse is taking. And she's like, 3 of these medicines I researched and they all do the same thing. So is he taking too much? Ding, 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 ding. Pausing and discernment. So she wanted to take him off of 2 of them or all of them. And the doctor's like, I agree. She wasn't asking till now. It was beautiful. So where in your life do you need to pause a little bit and use more discernment. Okay. Let's see what questions are coming in here. Let's see what we got coming up. All right. Career. I keep asking for guidance and having nothing. Okay. This is actually a really good question. Can I ask you, what exactly would you like to know, even though your career is doing well? What would you like to have more of in it? That's the discernment I want you to ask and pause. So if I were to ask you this question, she's asking, I keep asking for guidance and have nothing. But my question is do you not like what you do, or do you not like how you're doing it? Or do you not like what you're able to add to your career? That's what I asked for this question, because there's a question she's saying, I'm pausing, but are you really asking yourself, what is it about my career I don't really like? Because sometimes, like I said, you're not going to quit eating food in the pantry. You're just going to change what food you allow in the pantry so it feeds your soul and brings you positive energy. How do I ask you the same question for career? She's asking a good one, because a lot of you are struggling in your careers right now. The entire, system in the world, every system, every small business, every medium, every large business is being flipped upside down and saying, pause, discernment, what do you want? So let me ask you this. Can you tell me that? If I were to ask you that question, what is it that you would want to fill back in if your career was a pantry and you took out the things you didn't want? What would you want to put in instead? What would you replace into it? Let's see her question, her comment. I don't like having no stability, but I also don't want to get tied down in a job that isn't in alignment with my goals. So how do you create the goals in the job you have? How do you build them? And this is, again, this goes back. This is a person who is a very instant gratification person. She's very intense. Once she gets it done, she wants it now. She'll research it. She's very good at doing physical. But now when it comes to the mind, she has to ask herself, what is it that is fulfilling? Because she forgets, just slow dripping little thing here. Let me add one more thing that I do. Let me add one more thing that I enjoy. Sometimes I've added things into my company and my career that I thought would be fun or great to do. I don't enjoy them anymore. Right. And so it was fascinating. I started doing more of one thing, thought I would enjoy more of it. Corporate America is not something I super enjoy. I still do it. I just don't enjoy it to the level I enjoy with you, because I can just leash the beast and tell you guys all the coolest things I know, or I've learned, or someone's taught me. And in corporate America, you have to tiptoe around their needs. Well, that's another thing. So I'm asking you to look at it from the same perspective. What could you slow drip each time? You can walk out of anything anytime you want. You're never locked into anything. That's an internal. So is it something that you're wanting instant gratification for and you haven't acknowledged that? Or are you actually really building it and you can't see it? Because I think this person actually has been building it and can't see it. And that's what we have to ask. Where are we really not fulfilled? Are you healing people? Are you helping people? Are you inspiring people? Have you helped 5 people this year? If you helped 5 people this year be in a better place, you've done an amazing job. Does that make sense? I love it. Okay, feel free to fill me back in again on that one if I haven't touched on that. So not wanting to get tied down is a big thing that people are afraid of. And my answer is no one's tying anyone down anymore. That's what this whole shift of energy is. There are healing centers going on everywhere. And I've been asking some of my friends who are physicians, and they're like, oh yeah, a lot of people are jumping ship, and this whole thing, the medical community going upside down, has actually been a blessing, because now all these healing centers are opening up everywhere. And that's the coolest thing I've ever, warms my heart. And so we have to look at things from that perspective of going, just because it hasn't completely flipped to 100%, it is on a slow drip. Cool. Okay. Next question. We're doing good on time. What if we don't know what is toxic or not? Okay. I'm going to use this across the board. Okay. What if we don't know what is toxic or not? This could be anything, you guys, in things, in thoughts, or truth. Okay. The way I'm going to address this is where this last gal just addressed it with her career. Okay. Where are you most miserable right now? I don't think she's miserable. I think there are just things she wants more of in her career that would make it more exciting. Where are you most miserable right now? Your TV wizards, right? If you're watching TV all the time, that's where you get your input, your information, and they make you feel depressed. Okay. How do you know if it's toxic? I don't feel good after I watch that show or that digital or that whatever. Turn it off and get a book. Okay. Your eating habits. You're eating, you eat, and you're just still not, they're not making you feel good. For whatever reason, you don't feel good digestional areas of your life, wherever, your stomach down to wherever. Okay. Maybe it's time to get new, cleaner food and start researching what is cleaner food. Your love life. Let's address that. Okay. Your love life is hurting and your heart is hurting. What needs to be purged from your negative heart energy? So sometimes we're like, well, I'm doing the right things, but maybe we haven't purged what was pushed down is in our heart. Everything is energy, from her career, from your love life, to the food you put in. Okay. Guys, any of you who have watched just minimal TV and you've seen someone go into cardiac arrest, okay, let's just put it from this perspective. Anyone who has seen someone go into cardiac arrest, right? You use electricity to bring you back to life, to reset you, okay? Now I want you to imagine it from this perspective. Now imagine your food is electric or it's dead. Think of it that way, okay? Now imagine that your conversations are energizing electric or they are dead. Your digital devices have electric energy giving you positivity or they're making you feel dead inside. Old debris in your home that has energy that you could either restart your heart or detract from your heart. When I look at that picture, it depresses me. I remember the memory. I remember who gave it to me, and it just saddens me every time. Take the picture off the wall. Okay, like that's where I'm trying to get you guys. We have to imagine it as energy. When it comes to my career, okay, is there something that I need to shift to put more positive energy so I feel charged from it? Okay, that's exactly how I want you to look at it. What do you need to do to charge the part of your life so that your light shines? That's how simple this is. It's all about energy, positive or negative. Charging it positively or getting the charge pulled on you. Okay? That makes sense? There's a part of us that's struggling right now because we want things to just settle down and fix themselves. I'm making this call for you guys tonight because the planets are not going to allow it. Okay. Nothing will fix itself. We are in a spiritual awakening, this spiritual and emotional poverty, you guys, that I have awakened to you guys to for so long, that was this basic. Okay. This spiritual and emotional poverty was basically this. We have shut down for so long that all of a sudden we all woke up and said, oh, now things are changing and how I want. Yeah. But now we're afraid to pick what we want because of the instant gratification and the lack of discernment of picking what we want. Yeah, it's catch-22. Okay. So you're not getting out of it with the planets and the energy and the universe and the galaxy and the higher beings that are coming down and helping us and saying, now it's time to pick you. And we promise you'll be in alignment with what you want, even if it's her career, putting things into her career that she wants. Okay. All right, one last question's coming in. Can you give us an example of a food label? Like if you're looking at a label in your cabinet. Okay, guys, this is how simple I want you to make anything that you ingest from this point forward. I don't care if it's a thing you ingest here. I don't care if it's a thing you ingest with a pill. I don't care if it's a food, any food item, okay? This is how basic you get it. Every food, everything that has a label that you put into your body, okay? One ingredient is best. To 20 ingredients is probably not a best case scenario, okay? One ingredient example would be an apple. That's it. It's just an apple. There's only one ingredient in it, okay? All right. Lettuce. Things that have one ingredient, okay? Number 2, A bag of pretzels, I'm going to give you on average, it's going to have about 5 ingredients, probably not going to have a lot in it, especially if they're organic ingredients, an organic bag of pretzels. Once you hit a box of macaroni and cheese, you're going to have about 15 to 20 ingredients in it. And the first 3 or 4, you're going to get 5, maybe you'll understand. And after that, it's a simple add and subtract. But I like you to understand this. When you understand the number of ingredients, the more ingredients, the less healthy it is for you. That basic. Okay. All right. So, okay, someone also gave me a really good reminder. I totally forgot that. I was trying not to like elaborate, but you were asking, so I will. Anything with a number in it is in the ingredient is probably toxic and carcinogenic. She's totally right. Okay, so if there's numbers in the box, and just so you know, mac and cheese has a lot of numbers on it, just so you know. So my best answer to you is the ingredients and the labels and the food with the smallest labels will be on the perimeter of your grocery store or anywhere. The next levels will be in the next level, and the ones on the really in center of your grocery store are going to have a lot of labels, a lot of ingredients, and a lot of numbers. Okay, the more ingredients, this is where I want you to pause and use discernment. Google it. Google the product, Google the item, Google the most likely carcinogenic toxic item, and you'll go, oh, probably not a good idea to put that in my body. That's how basic this gets. Okay, 1 to 5, you're going to be doing okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're not bad all the time. After that, you're going to run into challenges, and you're going to know, and you're going to research, and you're going to be empowered then. Okay. FYI. My last tip on this one is just go to the farmer's market weekly, and you're going to be in a great place, right? Swap out one thing of the old and swap it with the new. Cool. Okay. All right, guys. 2 reminders again. Remember that we have the Spiritual Warrior going on January 29th. It's a full day event. It's in Scottsdale. Go to the events page on either the app, if you have it downloaded, or on my website. There's a discount code to the end of the week. If you want to join, it's $100 off. I'm giving you guys for Black Friday. It was the Black Friday tip and deal, which is $100 off of the event. And the code is Warrior20. So put Warrior20 into the discount code at the bottom of registration. It will take the $100 off. Find me if you have questions, and I will help you. And then number 2 was, remember that we have an I Deserve It app. It's completely free. So there's a lot of fun tips and tools on there that I talked about all tonight. And if you want access to the I Deserve It Center or the Truth Tribes, the Truth Tribe's on there. It's a membership. And the Truth Tribe Plus is the I Deserve It Center. Okay. Both of these are memberships. Share it with your friends. This is where I will give you a replay of all of the Truth Tribe replays, as well as if you're just a membership on, if you still have the IDI membership on the website, you can access all the replays on the Truth Tribe link up there. Okay. Any of these things, you guys, if you have questions, all you got to do is ask. Just ask, and I will absolutely respond back. You all have me either on a text, you have me on an email, you have me on when you get messages from me in all versions. So don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. Especially even on social media. I'm there all the time. You can say I post daily. Okay. So I love you all. Brightest blessings. Remember, we are going to have a solar eclipse this weekend. It is going to pull all this energy you're all feeling. So don't get wonky on me. Don't think something's wrong with you. It's not. It's trying to flip you to make a new tradition, a new belief system, something that makes you better and more badass, because you guys are already that. You're just going to get bigger. And I'm ready. I'm excited. And I can't wait to see what unfolds from all of this. I'm wishing you guys brightest blessings. I will see you next week. Take care.